Are you tired of those super long courses on gold investing? Well, what if I told you we've taken a whole 7-day masterclass and boiled it down into a powerful 5-minute framework? Seriously. By the end of this, you won't just understand the gold market, you'll have the actual map to navigate it.
But before we get to the map, let me ask you a question. It kind of gets to the very heart of what makes an investment successful. What do you think is more important? Choosing the right thing to buy or choosing the right time to buy it? The answer, well, it might not be what you think, and it's the key to unlocking some serious gains.
You know, the one thing that really separates the amateurs from the pros, it's timing. It's everything. You can choose a fantastic asset like gold, but if you buy it at the wrong time, you could be waiting years, just watching it go nowhere. But getting the time right, finding that opportune moment, that is the real secret to success.
This right here, this simple phrase, is our guiding star. It's not just about buying gold. It's about timing your move so that all the market winds are right at your back, pushing you forward instead of you having to fight against them. So the big question is, how in the world do we find these perfect moments? Well, I've got good news. It is not guesswork. It's not luck. There's actually a map, a predictable cycle that just repeats itself over and over again. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how it works.
So all markets, and I mean all of them, are basically governed by the simple 4-stage cycle. It starts when the economy struggles. So central banks print money to get things going. Of course, that leads to inflation. To fight the inflation, they have to raise interest rates, which then causes, you guessed it, economic hardship. And then the whole cycle just starts all over again. This is the engine that drives everything.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. We can actually pinpoint gold's biggest moves within this larger economic cycle. There are 5 specific triggers, think of them as 5 giant signposts on our map, that tell us exactly when gold is about to take off and enter what we call a supercycle.
And here they are. It all kicks off when interest rates finally stop going up. That's trigger 1. Then you start to see cracks in the economy. That's trigger 2. And then comes trigger 3, the big short. This is a sharp, sudden drop across everything when a crisis hits. Now, this is so important. This moment of pure panic, when everyone is selling, that is the single greatest buying opportunity before the governments inevitably step in, start printing money, and kick off the real rally.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds good in theory, but does it actually, work in the real world? Great question. Let's look at the evidence. Because this isn't just a theory, it's a pattern that has played out perfectly time and time again.
Let's rewind the clock to the 2008 financial crisis. August 2006, the Fed stops raising rates. Trigger 1. Then, September 2008, bam, Lehman Brothers collapses. That's our big short. Trigger 3. Gold tanked 25%, and that created the perfect moment to get in. And sure enough, just 2 months later, the Fed announced money printing and gold launched into an insane supercycle, rallying over 100%. The map was flawless.
And just in case you think that was a fluke, look at what happened during the COVID crisis. It's like déjà vu. January 2019, rates stop rising. March 2020, lockdowns begin, the big short hits, gold takes a dip. And by May 2020, the government announces stimulus and gold just takes off. It's the exact same sequence. The map works.
So this all leads to the most important question, right? Where are we now? Well, the Fed stopped raising rates back in July of 2023. That means we've already passed trigger 1. We are officially in trigger 2. We're on the map, and we're just waiting for the conditions that will lead to that next huge opportunity. Okay, so you have the map, and you know our current location. The next question becomes, what kind of traveler are you? Because your strategy really needs to match your personality, your goals, and, your personal cycle, your stage in life.
So which one are you? Are you a planter, patiently growing your wealth over decades? Or maybe you're a sailor, using this map to navigate a full 1 to 3 year cycle for some really big gains? Or are you a surfer, just riding the short-term waves of volatility for a quick profit? Figuring this out is absolutely key to using the map the right way.
All right, for all the planters and sailors out there, I want to share one last pro-level strategy. This is how you can use the cycle map to not just grow your wealth, but to actively multiply your holdings over time. The basic idea here is actually super simple. Not all assets move in sync. Just think of it like a seesaw. When one asset is way up, another one is often down. And this predictable difference, this lag, it creates a ridiculously powerful engine for creating wealth.
If you look back through history,
When gold is having its big moment, riskier assets like stocks and real estate are usually flat or even in a downturn. And the reverse is true. When they're booming, gold is usually taking a little break. I mean, our ancestors knew this instinctively. They built entire dynasties just by rotating between land and gold.
So here's how the engine works. First, you accumulate gold while it's in its upcycle. Then, when the cycle shifts and gold starts to flatten out, you sell it. You take those profits and you buy undervalued stocks or real estate right as their cycle is just beginning. After they've had their run, you sell them, and you use that much larger pile of capital to buy back into gold, getting way more than you started with. You just repeat this process cycle after cycle, using the market's own rhythm to build your fortune.
So there you have it, the map of the economic cycle, the 5 key triggers for gold, and a strategy to actually multiply your assets. You have the framework now. The next cycle is coming. The only question left is, where is it going to take you?